Well, good Friday evening, everybody, and welcome to our Around the Layout podcast operating crew giveaway for June 2024. Glad you could join us on this Friday night, wherever you are, or Saturday morning for the guy that's sitting to my right here, Paul Kassar, our executive producer. And then joining us from Spring Creek Model Trains, Mike Zucker. Mike, good evening.
Yes, good evening, guys. How's it going?
It's going great. It's good to see you again. And we had you on last month. We got to learn a whole bunch about Spring Creek Model Trains and got to share that with everybody. And glad to have you back here for our giveaway.
Oh yeah, we're excited to be here. So I think we got a cool car to be giving away here today for lucky HOer out there. So it's gonna be pretty awesome.
Yeah, for sure. But before we get to that, Paul's going to be working the comments here, and we'll be saying hello to folks that are dropping in. So, Paul, bring up those comments as you see them there. I saw, James Wilson,
3 Aussies.
Oh, look at that! Yeah, that's coming to us on a what time is it there, Paul?
It's 10 in the morning.
10 in the morning on Saturday. Awesome, Roger Coleman. Good to see you. I saw Dave Matheny was in the group, and then, of course, Darren Lee, and then I believe that's Joe Meekish, but I'm not 100% sure on your first name, but it's Jay, so I guess I can take a guess, so maybe I'm close. But good evening, everybody, or good morning, everyone, and on the other side and down under, and wanted to catch up a little bit on Spring Creek because it's been about a month since we talked, so that must mean you guys have done probably half a dozen or more shows, or who knows how many, right? So get us up to speed of what's happening over there at Spring Creek Model Trains.
Well, for train show wise, we were a little bit slower in May, so we actually held an event here Memorial Weekend here at our store. So we did a customer appreciation, had some hot dogs and brownies and just some good stuff, good fun time. I had a good crowd that showed up here to Deschler. So had a blast with that. And now getting into June, we're getting ready. I guess we did one little show that my mom and my daughter went to. So my daughter really enjoys those, gets spoiled by grandma while they're out working train shows. So that's always fun. So, so that was awesome. But we're heading back east here, about a week and a half. We're heading to Bethlehem, Pennsylvania for the N-Scale Enthusiast or N-Scale National Show.
Awesome.
So that's going to be fun. So myself and my crew are heading out there for that. Then we got really getting ready to go again at the end of June. We're actually double booked. So we got 2 trailers heading 2 different directions and just be a good time. So get going again.
Amazes me you spend all that time on the road, but it's really cool that you get out to see all these folks and get to all these shows and bring little Deschler, Nebraska to all of us.
That's true.
So,
no, it's pretty fun. That's the fun part, right? There's just, customers, friends, right, all over the country, really, and all over the world, right? We talk to folks from all over the world almost every week, and it's pretty awesome, just that relationship that's been built, that we've all been able to build with different customers, and it's pretty fun. We had just a note here, email show up today that young man's coming up, had a issue with his big boy that he had, but just the whole story of how he's met my mom and dad, 8 years ago, 10 years ago or something like that. They remembered them, met myself and my wife and family while we were down living in Texas. They met us down there. So now they're driving up through Nebraska and they'll stop at the store. So, I mean, it's pretty crazy how connections work, right? And just a small community of model railroaders really that are out there. So it's fun when you run into people and you get to see them again in the future. So,
yeah. And it's amazing when you start to talk to people, they talk about 7 degrees of separation in the hobby. It's not even 7 degrees. By the time you talk to about 3 people, you find somebody in common. It's pretty amazing. And, worldwide network, obviously Paul proves that, we're all connected now, thanks to the internet and all the technology that's advanced us. And and with you guys out there on the road beating, all these shows and, putting, having that presence has really brought you guys into a much larger community, which is really cool to do.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, especially from such a small town, right? To be able to do that,
Yeah.
it's really cool. So it's fun.
You
Yeah,
must keep the postal service busy in your town.
We do. Yeah, we actually haul all of our boxes up to our local post office every day. So our local postmaster, she knows when we're coming, right? And she's got the back door unlocked for us. So we just go straight into the back door and actually help her load her cart, right? And everything that needs to get loaded. So it's kind of,
And how many
small town thing.
how many packages on average would you be sending a day?
Oh, it varies greatly throughout the week, but I don't know, probably somewhere with 30 to 40 for us right now. So
Wow. Yeah, you might. I'm in a town of 750, right, or so.
Yep.
747, I think was the number. But yeah, you must be like the biggest postal customer in town, right? Yeah.
I think we are most days, right? We're
Yeah.
definitely the one that she waits for, and if we're not there, right, she'll call, right? Are you guys coming? The truck's almost here and everything. So it's a pretty cool relationship that we got going on, and
Yeah, and very
all the
small
fill.
too. That sounds like that where you're connected that well with the postmaster.
Oh
And
yeah,
yeah,
yep,
that's awesome.
yeah, it's fun. That's a cool part. And then our UPS, excuse me, our UPS driver, he's awesome. We got set up with them, so they roll through all the time and stop, pick up stuff. So it's a pretty cool deal. So
That must be a haul for him. I was looking at it at a map. You guys really are out there, when it comes to, distance to things. So,
yeah,
but summertime, I'm sure you get, a little bit more walk-in. Maybe those folks that are traveling through, summer vacations, family vacations, to and from. I'm sure you get quite a bit more that are coming through the front door.
yeah, oh yeah. That's a big part of this time of year. We get a lot of that coming through vacation wise. So we've had several RVs this week, that are pulled up outside the store, right? Parked, come in. We had a gentleman from Canada that was actually just camping in our city park, and he was driving, leaving town. He said he kind of got lost, saw our sign, stopped in. He says, "Hey, I got a buddy in Calgary that loves model trains and does all this stuff." And he's just, walking around. He doesn't do, he's not in the hobby, but he's walking around to get ideas for his friend that says, "Hey, you guys should hit this store up," right? So that's kind of neat.
Well,
And
it's
then
kind
we
of
got,
neat. It's like you are a destination model railroad shop, but you still can be found by accident, which
yep,
is even neat. Yeah, that's
yeah,
pretty cool.
that was neat. So, and then we got a lot of guys getting scheduled up to come out for the Fremo event here in July. So we got this year's going to be an HO Fremo setup here at our local event center, just a couple blocks from the store, and be setting up a layout there over. I think they'll be operating for 3 solid days of operations there, but we got guys, coming to set up, but then other guys are scheduling to make a trip to come to the store because that layout will be there, to check that out, see what's going on, talk to all the guys, right, and see the store. Or
yeah, great time to come, get to see
Yep.
that and get to see the store at the same time. Yeah, that's definitely
Yep.
a great time to be out there. And how's the weather normally about this time of year? Do you guys start to feel the heat, or how does it play out?
Yeah, it's usually later in June, July. July and August can get really hot, but
Yeah.
it's just part of it, right? And it all depends on what kind of the year is going, but it's usually hot and muggy. So
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
there's
Got
ways
the
to get
AC cranking, right?
out of it. Yep, keep the ACs going. So
Yeah,
that's for
awesome.
sure. Yep.
Awesome. Well, yeah, it's always a good time to get out there. I will eventually get myself out there, and when Paul comes to the U.S., we can get him to Deschler, Nebraska.
Yeah,
too.
that'd be awesome. We've had several
Absolutely.
visitors. You can probably find some crew members to come with you there, or friends in Australia, New Zealand, because we've had a lot show up. So
I'd have to take extra luggage to take home.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep. We've had to ship boxes behind the folks, right? They'll come and fill the
And
bag.
then ship it home.
yeah.
Yep,
That's great.
absolutely.
Well, we're going to get to giving away this car that you've given to us, and it's really cool. We'll talk about that in a minute, but I wanted to cover a couple quick things while we have everybody's attention and share some of the things that are going on. And the one thing I wanted to make sure everybody got to see, because boy, I'm just really proud of how this came out, is our new website. And if you haven't checked out our new website yet, Paul's going to put up a banner here with the website address, aroundthelayout.com. And what we've done is we've really driven a lot of the information for each show back to the website now. So each episode gets its own page. So when you guys are listening to any of these episodes, go to aroundthelayout.com, and I'll say it in the show usually, aroundthelayout.com /episodes / and the number for the episode. But if you don't know it, just come right here and click on the episode. We'll look at our upcoming episode with John Farrington. And not only do we have all the links, the things that we talked about during the show, you can also listen to the show. And we've also provided some images as well that when you click on them, they'll pop up and you'll be able to check those out. So definitely give a look to aroundthelayout.com. And then again, if you're looking for an episode, there's also out on the homepage, there's a search box now. So if you are looking for Paul Cassar's episodes, you would type Paul Cassar in the search box, and the episodes that Paul is featured in will pop up. So really happy with this. Again, Matt Warcombe did an awesome job helping us get this website up to date and getting it clean, getting it functional. And then remember a couple other things that are on here too. We're always looking to add to the sticker guide. This is where we have taken all the layout and club stickers and we've put them all in one place. Some of them have links. So if you click on them, it'll take you to the layout owner's either Facebook page or social media site, or some of them even actually have web pages as well. So go in here. If you have a layout sticker, email the art to aroundthelayout@gmail.com and we'll add it to the sticker guide and we'll get you in this collection, which is seemingly growing by the week, right, Paul?
We're always adding to it, that's for sure. With the stickers, we get a few a week, and it's a great resource. And we've still got more plans for the website as well. So keep checking in. But it flows so well. We're looking at adding, the interchange and our 2022 car. There'll be a little bit more to that. I know you've been building that page as well. So the site's really changed, and a lot of work. Matt's done a lot of work and some improvements to it.
And while you're mentioning that, let's talk about the Around the Layout interchange tour car. If you go to aroundthelayout.com /2022, you'll see all the information on the ATLP 2022 interchange tour. It tells you about it. And then if you want to have the car come to your layout, fill out the form here and then hit submit. And if you've noticed, we've added a scale. Now, don't get too excited because right now the car is HO, but we're looking to add at least one more scale in a car. And that's about it for now. But so if you're an N scaler, go ahead and start signing up because an N scale car is in the works to add to the tour. So I want to thank Heath Hurwitz at Humanity Junction for providing the car, and it's in process as we speak. And if you want to make your own ATLP high cube, all the instructions are here below. It tells you all the paints that were used for the car, how to get the decals, and then some instructions. And of course, make it what you want. Paul used a standard 50-foot box car. You can you can make whatever you'd like. You can reach out to Highball Graphics. They will, between the Around the Layout podcast sheet plus any other data or whatever you want to do, mix it up and then make sure you share us pictures of what you've created. So I want to thank everybody. We have over 80 stops worldwide right now for the car. It has completed 6. And I think by the weekend, I don't know, we'll probably be up to over 10 stops on the tour. And then we'll be sending it off. And then eventually it'll be making its way to Australia, New Zealand, the UK, and Switzerland are all on the map. So I want to thank everybody for joining in on that. And again, if you want to get this car on your layout and be part of the fun, aroundthelayout.com /2022. And just trying to find my cursor so that I can get that back off the screen. And then the other thing that you can do on the website that you recognize this guy, Mike? You might know him a little bit. Yep. Yeah. So
good guy.
So on our What's Happening in Model Railroad episodes, we have a segment called Ask Tony. This is where you, the listener, get to ask your model railroad questions to the editor of Model Railroad News, Tony Cook. Go to aroundthelayout.com/ask Tony. Gives you instructions on how to record your question. And then we will select up to 2 to be answered on the upcoming show. We're recording that on June 14th. So I ask if you get your question in by June 10th. That gives our resident expert a few days to get the proper answer to your question. And then you may hear it as an answer on the podcast. So join in, get yourself heard on the podcast, get your questions answered by, I don't know, probably the foremost expert in the field. He is unbelievable, the knowledge he has on product. So definitely take an opportunity to ask Tony your question.
Yeah, product or history. I ran across an elevator locomotive one time, and I was telling about it. I had sent him one picture, and like within like 2 days, I got a full history of when the thing was produced, what railroad it went to, what road number it was, the next railroad. And it was really cool. I was like, holy cow, would have never thought about that. So
that's great. And I've had a similar scenario with that. I asked him about a 50-foot high cube that had like a peaked roof. And I had the car, and I just sent him a picture, and I said, Tony, what's this? And I got the dissertation.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Yeah. He's just a wealth of knowledge, and he loves that kind of stuff. And definitely get yourself on there to aroundthelayout.com/ask Tony and ask your question. If you're a little bashful and you don't want to be heard, you can send us an email aroundthelayout@gmail.com, but it's not nearly as fun as if you record us a message, because we get to hear you ask the question. So, So that brings us to the giveaway. So without further ado, Mike, I'm going to put a picture of it up here, and I know you've got it in hand as well. So why don't you tell us a bit about this and this project that you've done with, it was Intermountain, correct?
Yeah. So this is a project we did with Intermountain. So my dad has been doing exclusive runs, I guess, for almost the entire history of Spring Creek model trains. So started out doing coal trains, doing custom runs of coal trains, and then oh man, I lose count. We've done tank cars, right? We've done bulkhead flats. We've done some passenger cars. And this latest one here that's in front of us now is a grain hopper. And we've done several different grain hoppers over the years, but this is a KYLE patched out car that used to be an FGDA, as you can see there with the panel. So that's been faded out by the manufacturing. So KYLE is a short line railroad that runs across northern Kansas. It's running the old Rock Island route that went from Denver to like Omaha. And then the Iowa Interstate runs the route from Omaha all the way to Chicago. So that's the route. So KYLE's got a piece of that. It's a Genesee and Wyoming railroad at this point in time.
Okay.
But mainly a grain hauler, right? They just seasonal grain. I mean, they got other industries, but really it's about grain. Ethanol is becoming a big thing for them. But so it's really neat local railroad for us. And then just being a grain hopper, being a patched out grain hopper, it's cool, right? I mean, it can be anywhere in the country, right?
Yeah.
And just it's a pretty unique deal. So so HO scale, right? So we picked one of these that's got the panel. We also had a car that was done without the panel that you can see there. So we have 6 different numbers. If somebody's interested, there's 3 of each type. So that's out there. They're available on our website. But yeah, so we thought this would be a cool car to give away to some of your listeners or watchers here. So it's pretty awesome. So
yeah, for sure. And I'll tell you what, these covered hoppers have been kind of a neat conversation within the Friends of Around the Layout group on Facebook. And we've been chatting back and forth because there's been a few of us that have been catching these in these old cars, old Pat. You can see the logos bleeding through, very much like what you see right here on the placard. And I love that stuff, that ghosted railroad kind of stuff where you wonder what the history was and you can kind of see it bleeding through. And yeah, this is very appropriate for the conversations that seemingly have been going on for the last couple of months. And between Mike Wheeler and myself and some others have posted these. And then Butch Eiler even has a group on Facebook that has done a real nice job of highlighting up these. So yeah, definitely get yourself over to springcreekmodeltrains.com where you can see these and get yourself a few of these on the lap. Some lucky person's going to get this one for free tonight. So
yeah, that'll be pretty awesome. So
yeah,
and there's always new exclusive ideas in the works here at Spring Creek. So definitely keep an eye out on, future ideas or future releases that are coming that we've been working on with manufacturers, because we got some other grain hoppers in the works right now with scale trains that are coming, and we got some future things with Intermountain that we got in the works, and KD right now. So
awesome.
It'd be pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's fun. It's they're doing unique stuff, having exclusive. It's great conversation pieces on layouts too. Hey, where did that come from? And you get to tell a story about it. So that's really cool. Great stuff that you guys are offering, and great that you partnered with Intermountain. It's a great company to partner with when it comes to these PS-4750, correct?
4750. Yep. Yeah.
Awesome.
Great
car.
So,
Yep. Awesome. So they do an awesome job with it. Great looking car. It's going to look good on whomever is going to win it tonight's layout. So let's get that big wheel up here. We have 118 names on the wheel tonight, are members of our operating crew who support the podcast through their contributions each month. I am so thankful for every one of you for the support you provide to us. You keep the podcast free of annoying car insurance commercials, and keep everything relevant and keep everything out from behind paywalls. We get to hear everybody's story on Around the Layout, and those are the folks that help keep this moving. So 118 of you, thank you so much. And if you want to get in on the winning next month, you can go to aroundthelayout.com/crew and sign up for the operating crew. You get an exclusive sticker, plus access to all the inside information, including previews of upcoming shows before anybody else gets them. So $3 a month, aroundthelayout.com/crew, and you can sign up for there. All right, let's give it a spin. Mike, you tell me, give me a countdown of 3 to 1, and I'll spin away. Go for it.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, spin it.
There we go. All right, Paul August.
Oh, awesome.
All in bold, so we couldn't mess his name up. Paul August, thank you so much for and congratulations. Appreciate your support. Paul was on the show not too long ago, so if you want to catch up on his podcast, we already talked about that. Go to aroundthelayout.com, search for our big winner tonight, Paul August. You'll be able to listen to his episode, and he's going to have a new car in his layout, so maybe it'd be time to get back and get an update from him. So
awesome.
Congratulations, Paul, on winning the car.
Oh, that's awesome.
Excellent.
That's cool.
So we got one more giveaway for everybody tonight. We've got I don't know, 20 some odd, maybe close to 30 people. I don't trust the counter anymore because it jumps all over the place. But we got a good group in here tonight, so I think we're going to give away a t-shirt to the folks that are in here. You do not need to be a member of the operating crew to win the shirt. In honor of our sponsor of tonight's giveaway, if you enter in hashtag SCMT, Spring Creek Model Trains, enter that into the comments. We'll collect those here for a few minutes, and then we will select a winner. So again, just type in hashtag SCMT if you'd like to win an Around the Layout podcast t-shirt. So Mike, thank you so much. Appreciate you supporting the operating crew with this giveaway. I'm sure Paul's going to love that, and hope folks get over to springcreekmodeltrains.com and get one ordered if they didn't win, because what a cool car you got going.
Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, definitely check it out, and appreciate being on here, Ray, and love what you're doing with this niche of the hobby, because it's cool to hear the stories. The stories is what makes railroad or model railroading neat, right? So
yeah, well, it's absolutely been amazing. Over 100 episodes now of listening to folks tell their stories. There's a lot of commonality, and then there's a lot of uniqueness too. And and what it comes back to is relatability, and we're all the same, and we all have a love and passion for this hobby, and the different ways that we express it and are a part of it. it certainly is a lot of fun to hear that. So, and great to hear stories from folks like you too, Mike, on the retail side of things. And we need folks like you, and having Spring Creek as a reliable vendor. I mean, the hobby requires stuff, right? We got to have our stuff to do it. And having great hobby shops like yours is certainly a benefit to the hobby.
Yeah, definitely appreciate that. So, I mean, first and foremost, I mean, all of us here are model railroaders, right? And that's why we're here doing what we do, and just trying to, making a living through the hobby store, and, supporting everybody else on their hobbies. So
absolutely. So yeah.
And I guess,
go ahead, Paul.
I was just going to say, Ray, that that the show's changing, and we're always looking at making improvements. And we've got an up and coming episode with our operating guru, Don Iris, and so keep an eye out for a future episode of that. And that will further morph into a segment of its own, or a show of its own, which we're really excited about.
Yeah, we're always on the mindset of continuous improvement and bringing more entertainment and information along with that. And Don is certainly a guy that we're going to learn a lot from. And it's also going to be great to bring past guests back and talk operations, because I know, folks like me, we love to be able to run our trains and be able to hear a guy like Don talk about operations, and then have folks come on and have them tell us their operating story is also going to add a neat element as well. So we're looking forward to all of that coming very soon. And I think the next time I get to see at least folks from you is in St. Louis. Is that right, Mike?
Yep. We'll be down at the St. Louis RPM. So I think right now it's going to be Dave and Deb. So Mom and Dad will be down there, be set up. And yeah, we've enjoyed going down there for a lot of years. I don't even know when we started going to the RPM, but it's a yearly marked on the calendar, in a year in advance kind of deal. So.
And well, I'll be looking forward to meeting Mom and Dad down at Spring Creek, at your setup at the St. Louis RPM. So looking forward to having a chat with them as I make my way to St. Louis at the end of July. Looking forward to seeing a whole bunch of folks there and hanging out. And I guess there's already plans for barbecue and steak and everything else. So
that'd be good. You're in a good town for it. And the modeling there is just, I went for the first time last year, and it was inspiring, I guess. I don't know. It was amazing. Yeah, so there's a lot of good models.
And we'll be talking to Lonnie Bathurst from the St. Louis RPM very shortly, with a preview show coming very soon. And we'll be chatting about all the things that are happening at the St. Louis RPM, including our friend Bernard there doing scanning for mini prints. So that'll be a lot of fun as well. So let's give away a t-shirt and let folks get back to their Friday night here. So now I just got to remember how to do it. So give me 1 second. I think if I go like this, I go like that, and I go like that, I think you folks might be able to see that. 14 entries in there with the hashtag Spring Creek Model Trains. So we're going to draw a winner from the 14 entries. Here we go. Robert Thomas is the winner of our Around the Layout podcast t-shirt. Congratulations, Robert. Robert, shoot me an email, aroundthelayout@gmail.com. Tell me what t-shirt size you wear and give me your address. I will get a shirt out to you. So thank you for joining us on this Friday night, along with everyone else who has joined us. And Mike, thank you again for your support of the operating crew, and thanks for joining us here live.
Yep. No, that's awesome. That's really appreciate it, and look forward to getting this car out and meeting you guys down the road for sure. So.
All right, Mike. Well, until the next time, and on behalf of Paul Cassar, good night, everybody.
Natto.